You're watching Alaska's news source.
Good evening. As we come on the air at 4, we continue following the breaking news out of Utah. And with that, the state's governor about an hour and a half ago called the killing of conservative activist and celebrity podcaster Charlie Kirk a, quote, political assassination. It happened on a Utah college campus. Our political reporter, Will Courtney, tells us law enforcement says a suspect is now in custody as Alaska reacts. Will.
Yeah, Ariane, from the governor to our congressional delegation, thoughts echoing leaders across the country, including President Donald Trump, who was the first to confirm Kirk had died. At a news conference about 2:30 Alaska time, Utah Governor Spencer Cox also confirmed a, quote, person of interest was in custody. No charges were announced during that news conference about the shooting. Video of that shooting in broad daylight at Utah Valley University has been widely circulating. Kirk, a well-known podcaster and activist, commonly spoke at universities. He was one of the president's strongest supporters. He had just answered a question from the crowd when a shot was fired. We can't underscore the significance he played to many young conservatives. I talked to a man who was in that crowd. 41-year-old Justin Hicken has lived in Utah for years, and here's how he described what happened right before the shooting.
So the next person that came up, ironically, asked a question about mass shootings and transgenders, and we maybe got 60 to 90 seconds into that exchange before the shot went off, and I saw a lot of blood kind of erupt from Charlie, his body kind of recoil and go limp, and then everybody just screamed and hit the deck, and bodies were on top of each other. And in that moment, I'm just thinking, oh man, this is happening. And my next thought was, I was praying, I was listening for more shots. And luckily, I didn't hear any more shot sounds.
Kirk was at Utah Valley University as part of what he called the American Comeback Tour, where he traveled across the country debating college students on political issues. The University of Alaska Anchorage is host to one of Kirk's groups, which is called Turning Point USA. But UAA was not a tour stop. I've reached out to UAA Turning Point USA Club for their reaction, but we haven't heard back yet. State lawmakers across the political divide all extending their thoughts and prayers to his family. He's survived by his wife and 2 children. A bipartisan theme we're seeing in these statements, a condemnation of political violence in America, many pointing to Kirk dying doing what's afforded to him in the Constitution, freely speaking.
I know Alaska has its own episodes of threats and against elected officials and threats against community leaders. But it really brings home that our civic discourse and the safety of our public spaces depends on us being committed to this. Political disagreement is not justification for violence, and it must never be normalized.
It seems that we're seeing an uptick in this country where people think it's okay to go out and commit violence against people they disagree with, and that is just completely unacceptable. In this country, we have a very strong First Amendment. People need to be able to engage in civil debate and instead of going to violence.
Governor Mike Dunleavy and Republican House Minority Leader Mia Costello both calling the incident today a tragedy in separate statements. The governor emphasizing the need to protect everyone's free speech. On our website and mobile app right now, the entire congressional delegation's reaction. Ariane.
All right, thanks, Will, for that. Flags are also flying at half-staff across the country tonight. This is video from Washington, D.C. to honor Charlie Kirk. President Trump issued a proclamation ordering the flags to be lowered as a sign of respect. The flag will remain at half-staff until sunset on Sunday, September 14th.